We've been raising chickens in our homestead for quite some time, and throughout that time, we actually started our own small-scale egg production and egg company where we actually sell eggs. We have a farm stand down at the end of our driveway, and we're able to turn in a pretty good amount of profit. Now, it's not breaking the bank, but it does help offset some of the costs that you have for raising chickens, as well as keeping your own homestead. We do also sell other things at our farm stand, like seed starters, some different types of baked goods, some products that we make, as well as our chicken eggs, quail eggs, and other items dependent on the season and what we have going on at our homestead. But it is relatively easy to start your own small-scale egg selling business, egg sale business, and I'm going to take you through the steps. And the first one is actually thinking about how large you want to make this scale. Like any business, you want to sit down and actually put pen to paper and decide what you're actually getting into and how much time you're going to need to really dedicate to this. For us, we knew that it was always just going to be a smaller project that we worked on to offset some of the costs and to help with our farm assessment, which our state allows for. If you make a certain amount of profits for your land, you can qualify for a more tax-friendly way of living, and you're able to do a lot more on your property if you are farm assessed. So I definitely suggest looking into the state that you're in and what different qualifications you need to meet in order to become a farm assessed property, because it can help with tax breaks on your property where you live, which really helps us here. Now, once we actually figured out how much money we wanted to make in our business and what it would look like, we started to think about who our target audience would be. When it first started, we weren't farm assessed yet, so we weren't actually allowed to have a farm stand out at the end of our driveway. So we started by making sales to our neighbors. We created flyers that I stuck in all of their mailboxes, and then I would hand deliver eggs on a weekly basis. So we did every Sunday. You'd get deliveries, and customers would then pay by cash or Venmo, and just make sure that you're tracking everything in a system so that you can report those incomes and you can file them correctly with your state. Outside of that, we did some sales to coworkers. So if you're going into work, this is a great place that you can let friends and coworkers, colleagues know that you have your own farm. I think in this day and age, eggs, organic eggs, eggs that are from free-range, pasture-raised chickens are highly sought after, and you can charge a pretty penny. You'll want to think about some of the branding that's going along with it. We call our eggs Split Our Farm, so we also would bring them. I go to a gym that is class-based, and I would bring them and I would do egg sales every Saturday. So I have my little egg cart and I would bring it into my gym and do egg sales. Everyone knew that I was coming. So if you are a part of any local communities, this can also be a great way to get out the word that you're selling eggs and start to generate customers. Because eggs are something that are part of everyone's weekly grocery order and a large part of everyone's diet, they're pretty easy to get something that is return customers, especially if you're giving out high quality eggs, which hopefully you are, and we will talk through how to actually do that a little bit more. The next thing to think about in your business plan is how much you actually want to invest in your business. When we started raising chickens, which we knew we were going to do this, and again, this wasn't necessarily for profit, but we wanted to start something that was easy. You don't have to go all in at the beginning. You don't have to buy a $4,000 chicken coop. You can start with things that you have, or you can start small and then build up. We started off with 10 chickens and built all the way up to 30, and 30 is a lot of chickens. It's a lot of work, but if you're going to be churning out a lot of eggs, you also need a large amount of chickens to do so. So we started off with our barn that we turned into our chicken coop. We also have a nice run here, but with that, we've made some changes and we are actually building out a brand new coop over here because we have really learned a lot from this barn turned coop, and we have a lot of changes that we want to make. We are going to be showing a full video on how we're building out this coop and some things that we wish we had had in our original coop design. hence why we wouldn't have had to build this second coop, but we'll go over all of that in future videos. So definitely subscribe if you aren't already a part of the community. Now, like I said, things can get really expensive, really costly. I suggest starting small, making sure that you actually like raising chickens, and then make sure that you can grow it up and that you do have the infrastructure that you can build upon that. If you are free ranging or pasture raising your chickens, you don't need an enormous coop, because most of the time they're going to be spending outdoors and not necessarily in the coop. So don't worry about getting a gigantic coop. Really think about how you can get them more space outside as composed to inside, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. To make sure that you are actually getting a good amount of eggs, it means that you must be raising the right breeds of chickens. Not every chicken is bred to lay eggs. There are different types of chickens that are bred for different types of outcomes. There are some chickens that are just beautiful, like a silky, and there are others that are going to be high egg producers. And something to keep in mind is also the color of the eggs. A color of an egg doesn't mean organic or not, although the grocery store would like to have you believe that and like to have the consumer believe that, but it is something that you probably want to keep in mind when getting the chickens, because a lot of consumers and a lot of everyday people that are going to be purchasing your eggs are also going to be under that perception as well. Now, a leghorn chicken is a great egg producing chicken. They lay a nice white, medium to large size egg, and they are America's #1 egg producers. When you go to the store and you get those white eggs, it's most likely from a leghorn chicken. But there are also a lot of brown egg layers. There are blue egg layers, pink, green, and honestly every year there comes out with like new different colors. So something to keep in mind if you do want to have a colorful box, which can also turn into higher profits, because a lot of individuals think that they're more organic, they're cleaner, and they're going to have something else different with them, but it really has nothing to do with that. It is all about the breed and nothing about the nutrients in the egg. Some high producing breeds to think about are Leghorn, Rhode Island Red, or Austrotroph, and these are going to be really reliable for egg production. Now, at our homestead, we do free range our chickens, and this can definitely help with increasing the profits of your eggs. As you're deciding on the breed, it's important to think about how you're actually going to be raising your chickens. All of our chickens are free-ranged chickens, and this can also mean that the eggs can go for a higher cost. We sell our eggs at $5 a dozen. That's pretty average for our area. I know I have friends in the area that sell their eggs for $8 a dozen. We are in the Northeast, and I know it is not like that in the Midwest. So really understand your area and what individuals are willing to pay, and think about things like the color of the egg, or whether you're free ranging, raising in caged, or raising in a smaller space. But this can really offset the prices. If you are able to free range, you can charge a higher price per dozen eggs. As you think about raising chickens, you also want to think about the space that you're raising them in. As I said, we are building out a new coop, and some things that we're really focusing on is first making sure that we have enough space for them. You ideally want to have anywhere from 2 to 4 square feet per chicken. Again, if you are free ranging your chickens, you can lean towards a smaller size, but you definitely want to have spaces that they can perch on at night, because they will like to sleep on a perch. It is just built in their nature that it is much safer than sleeping on the ground. You want to make sure that you have nesting boxes for your chickens. If you do not have nesting boxes, or you do not have enough nesting boxes for your chickens, then they will lay their eggs on the floor, they will lay them on top of each other, and it will end in really dirty and broken eggs. You definitely do not want to do this. So make sure that for every 2 to 4 chickens, you have your own nesting box for them so that they can spread out. And you make the nesting box an area, one, that's easy accessible. You're gonna be going in there 1 to 2 times a day. Something that we really wish we had was an area where we could access the eggs from the outside instead of walking into our coop every single day. Also, think about the proper ventilation, whether that is adding ventilation into your chicken coop that you have, or just purchasing a chicken coop that actually has good ventilation. This is going to help make sure that the area that your chickens live in is going to be much cleaner. There's going to be less ways for disease to spread, parasites, and you're also getting some of those stinkiness out and about, and it's not just staying inside. Make sure that you have dust baths for your chickens and you have an area for them outside. If you're raising your own chickens, you are lended to the ability to use more land. So I definitely suggest, if you can free range, that you do. And you also offer them areas to live in a more natural environment. The more beautiful, the more natural your chicken coops is and the place that they live is, the better the product is, the happier the chicken, and I think the happier the egg, the better tasting the egg will be. And lastly, make sure that you always have a good source of clean, fresh water and food for your chickens. We feed our chickens a high quality layer formula by NatureServe. It is made specifically for chickens to lay eggs, and it gives them everything in their diet that they need. If you're not giving them a high quality diet, you do want to make sure that you're offsetting that with supplemental items, maybe like oyster shells, grits, anything like that that may not be included in their diet, you're able to offset. You can still give your chickens some treats, but make sure that you continue to give them a good diet of food. Table scraps you can give them garden scraps, you can give them all of those additional things, but always start with a good base of food. We talked about the general setup that you need, how to actually make sure that your chickens are happy and healthy. You're always checking and monitoring to make sure that they have everything that they need. But what about the actual eggs? Now, as long as you're doing everything to make sure that your chickens have a healthy and good diet, enough water, and you're supplementing them with anything that they need, you're making sure that they are safe and protected in their coop in an area that predators cannot get into them, but they also have everything that they need to thrive, then you're going to get good eggs. I suggest collecting eggs early and often. That means that at the beginning of the day, that's usually when your chickens are going to start laying, you go in there. So I usually pour myself a nice cup of coffee and I take my egg basket and I go out into the coop and collect my eggs. Once you've done that, maybe midday, go in, check again. Depending on how many chickens and nesting boxes you have, you might want to go in more often versus not. If you have a smaller flock, you don't have to go in as often. I usually would just go in around lunchtime every day and grab them when we had around 10 chickens and it wasn't too bad. If you do let them stockpile up, so when we've gone on vacation for a long weekend and we don't have someone watching our chickens because we have automated feed and water, then it can get quite crazy. And the problem with this is it just means that you're gonna have a stockpile of eggs, and oftentimes when the chickens go to lay, they're gonna crush the ones on the bottom and it's just gonna get a sticky mess. The dirtier the eggs are, it means that you just need to clean them. You can't really be selling eggs with poop or other egg juices on them. So if you're collecting early, often, then you're gonna get a cleaner egg that you do not need to actually wash. If you do need to wash the egg because it has something on it and you don't really want to be selling eggs like that, I suggest cleaning them at a warm temperature. Not something too hot that you would burn your hands on, just a lukewarm temperature. You can take a non-abrasive sponge, clean it off, dry it off. Once it's been cleaned, you do need to store the eggs in the refrigerator. If they're not cleaned, you do not, and they will last a lot longer if they're not cleaned. This is because there is an outer shell on the egg that rinses off when you wash it with water. So if you don't need to wash it, I definitely suggest not washing them, and they will last a lot longer without being kept cool. And then you can stock them right on your farm stand and not even have to worry about refrigerating them. You can carry them in the car with you. You don't have to worry about that because you never needed to refrigerate them. Depending on where you live, you might need to get certain certifications. So definitely check with your city or town and make sure that before you sell eggs, that you're following all of the regulations that you need. In the end, you aren't going to start making a bunch of money overnight, but if you're looking to really grow this out, you can choose to make it much larger. You can do more than just a stand at the end of your road. You can go to farm stands, you can talk to local restaurants, chefs, and really integrate into your community in order to grow your business even more. I've heard amazing success stories of individuals selling their eggs into major profitable businesses, and that's something you can do too. Or you can do something that's more just a side hustle, relaxed, and don't worry if you don't get it at the beginning. This takes practice, it takes time, and we have a lot of great resources for how to actually keep and store eggs and help generate more ways to get some profit. So definitely subscribe, like this video, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.